the Zymos. Kind of inside of the new open world area. Well, the town of. The whole Heart of Damus stuff. Well, technically you have to level up to be able to build this. To find it, on the mini-map you can see you don't want the mining stuff, you don't want... And yes, for the first, or before the first reset, did not know she was there. She's on the mini-map and I completely forgot to go and see her. You want to come and see Father, because it's Father that... No, should be Father. Yeah, there's the blueprint, there's the barrel, there's the receiver. All of the weapons are in this, which means you have to level this up. And to be honest, leveling the new Syndicate up, it's a nightmare. They really shouldn't have gone with the token system and stuck with the same system they've had for ages, but it's not that expensive. You just have to find an insane amount of the new resources. What I do like, however, is infest your foes with this spore scattering pistol. Headshots burrow in and explode, releasing spore clouds that seek out nearby enemies. So it's a headshot weapon for sure. Comes with a dash, a V, and this slot is not as easy to unlock as it used to be because people just don't open those relics anymore, so buying that's kind of out of the question anyway. So that's going to sit locked, but there is a dash on the Xmas slot, Exilus slot. I always say the wrong thing first, but with a V and a dash it means two polarities. One polarity is good on a weapon, two gives it a great starting point, meaning may have to format this thing twice more because it is a pistol. It, however, does not need the crit mods because that is poor on the crit. This is a status based weapon. The radial attack is possibly what could let this down simply because it has a 30% fall off. We'll have to see, because from the stats it looks like it could be pretty decent. And even though this has been around for what, 2 weeks now, I really regret not playing with this thing earlier. I kind of leveled it up to 30, then got busy farming for the necromech, and there was that much stuff. I kind of forgot about it until I equipped it again, and okay, this thing actually turned out to be not that bad. Yes, what is it calls it? Spore scattering pistol is kind of a weird one. It releases a spore of clouds on headshots. Well, really, that's not how it works at all. Headshots burrow into the head and explode. It's kind of like the Nuko, but a lot less accurate. It doesn't arc between enemies, but okay, it does deal a lot of damage to the enemies around it. And there was something kind of weird about using this. You have to land those headshots, so mods like Magnum Force, they will increase damage, but they do decrease accuracy with something you are trying to land headshots with. That's not a good thing to be using, sadly, because that did give it a lot of extra damage. But with a 5% crit chance, building this for crits, kind of useless. The status is 30%, so dual wielding, the dual status chance mods do increase it. Did end up throwing pathogen rounds on with pistol pestilence because, well, I kind of built this thing for corrosive. It can of course go with any elemental combo you want to put on there. Did 3-form of this thing, but really, well, it didn't need that. You could have got away with 2. And sadly, I did leave Magnum Force on, which is 165% damage, with Augur Pact adding 90% damage and Hornet Strike adding 220% damage, with, well, lots of multi-shot. So I did completely ruin the accuracy on this. I actually forgot that was in there the whole time, but wow. This thing, it may be a mastery rank 11 weapon, but there was just something about using this. Okay, against the infested, it was not very useful. which is why after leveling this thing to 30, I put it away and just went straight back to using the normal weapons I use. Now, on the other hand, I'm going to keep this thing equipped for a while because, yeah, there's just something about the way that when you land the headshot, the heads just kind of, let's just say, release a cloud of spores. That it just reminded me a lot of the nuke orb, but this thing just seemed to have something about it that just made it a lot of fun to use. Could put something like, and it annoys me, I can never remember the name of it, lethal momentum, or yeah, I think it's lethal momentum, into that elixir slot and, well, increase the travel time of the projectiles, because that increases the projectile speed by 40%, I think it was. That would increase the accuracy on this quite a bit. It will also help a lot with the fall off, but oh, just, I know it's built for corrosive. Corrosive is useless for a lot of things, so changing the elemental combo to whatever you want it to be will work wonders for this, but just going for straight up damage rather than building it for crit, which, because it's a 5% crit chance weapon, that's what kind of ruined it. If it had have been a 15% crit chance, I may have gone the straight up crit build on this, because just the fact that it has that 3.3 range for the gas cloud just made it fun to use. Rather than it being a weapon that will deal a ton of damage, its crowd control was great, because even if it doesn't take out enemies around it with the gas cloud, it still stuns them just long enough for you to shoot them in the head and create another gas cloud, which is kind of what you want from a weapon really. If you were going for straight up damage, you would go for a primary anyway. This thing, it was just way too good for crowd control. But anyway, we'll leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.